In this episode, I invite you to think about this future-focused question. What if we could establish a reputation as a destination of choice for businesses and residents seeking to relocate away from the city without sacrificing the soft infrastructure conducive for working remotely? Urban facilities such as cafes, shared workspaces, casual meeting spaces, and event spaces. To help you answer this question, let's recap what we know. When it comes to regional migration and the trends to remote working, Yarra Ranges may be missing out on its share of Melbourne businesses and residents seeking to relocate away from the city. So what does this mean? Well, here's the challenge in a nutshell. The challenge is, how do we capitalize on these trends of regional migration and remote working to attract more employers into the Yarra Ranges? As you reflect on the question about how we could attract more employers into the Yarra Ranges, here are a few things you may want to consider. The first is a trend around remote working. In Australia and around the world, there are some great options conducive to working remotely, beyond the home office, cafe, or co-working spaces. What makes these places so appealing to businesses, entrepreneurs, and startups? Well, they clearly serve a purpose, much more valuable than the functionality of just providing a quiet place to set up a laptop and to connect to free Wi-Fi. What they also provide is a solution to a basic human need, the desire to be social and to connect with others. If you think about the Qantas clubs and member lounges, these are spaces and environments that are typically professional yet relaxed. They really do appeal to professionals who want to connect with clients, work between meetings, be inspired by other entrepreneurs, network and PC networking, to share opportunities, and to collaborate with others. So returning to the question of how we could attract more employers into the Yarra Ranges, here's a case study I've prepared for you to help you visualize what this could look like. In June 2021, BBC published a work-life feature article on Zoom towns, luring remote workers to rural enclaves. This image on the screen is one of many rural Zoom towns in the Ozark Mountains in the US state of Arkansas that is attracting city workers who crave outdoor experiences. To explain the concept, BBC points out that historically, oil and mineral discoveries once led to boom towns, but this COVID exodus has spawned Zoom towns, regional communities near natural amenities where remote workers can take advantage of a higher quality of life with more disposable income than in traditional business hubs. Many of these gateway regions are seeing an opportunity to diverse their economy with a fresh influx of capital and ideas. One of the benefits of in-migration is that there are younger people moving in. Instead of just pensioners retiring to nature, you have people who are still employed, have families, have kids in school. Personally, I think it's a combination of strong natural assets and a contemporary urban amenity that caters to people who are looking for functional and social aspects of co-working, just in a more natural setting than a high-rise city co-working space or an overcrowded city cafe. If this topic is of particular interest to you, I've prepared a bonus question that you may wish to consider. Here's the question. What would it look like if we flipped the concept of the co-working space or membership-based business lounge on its head and instead converted an entire town into a co-working space of the future? Despite a shift to remote working, nowhere in the world does this type of place exist. So what I'm imagining is this: a network of new and repurposed spaces and facilities spread out across the town. I'm also thinking about a series of venues or spaces where professionals and entrepreneurs achieve the same functional and social objectives delivered from traditional co-working spaces, but of course experienced in an entirely different way. What do you think?